Hello and welcome to today's yoga question. I'm Lizzie Lasater and joining us is Judith Hanson Lasater. Hi, Mama.
Hi, Lizzie.
We're back with our Preggo Poses series. Today's question is, what is going on with my abs during pregnancy? What is happening?
They're sort of, letting go.
They feel hard sometimes.
Okay, they feel hard because they're being stretched so much, and because you start having what we call Braxton Hicks, and that named after probably Mr. Braxton and Mr. Hicks. Traditionally in medicine, there's usually named after men, many things. So those are like warm-ups. They're not productive contractions, and they don't open the cervix, but they get the uterus ready. It has to get in shape,
Yes.
The uterus is a muscle, a very unique muscle, like the heart is a very unique muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting ready. And one of the ways that many people distinguish between Braxton Hicks and labor is that you feel Braxton Hicks in the front, but you feel labor more in the back.
Yeah, I'm 8 months pregnant with twins right now, and I can say I've been having a lot of Braxton Hicks. It just gets suddenly quite hard. But in terms of the abdominal muscles, throughout pregnancy, they're relaxing, and are they actually lengthening and stretching?
All right, let's be clear on our terms. The abdominal muscles are being passively stretched by this alien, in your case, two alien beings inside that are getting bigger and needing more room. And this is the important thing. They must let go. The abdominal muscles must let go in order for the uterus to grow.
Mm-hmm.
I had a woman years ago who was pregnant, who was sent to me by her doctor because her baby was not growing. And it turned out that she was working out at the gym 6 hours a day, doing lots of abdominal strengtheners because she didn't want to look what? What's the word, Lizzie? Guess the word.
Pregnant?
No.
Fat?
Yes. You are not fat. You are pregnant.
Yeah.
And so literally, because her abdominals were so strong, that was not letting her baby grow. But that's what culture has done to pregnant women. Let's take a moment of mourning for that. So I just gave her all these restorative poses, and I actually told her what I wanted her to do. She lived outside the city of San Francisco in a place that was warmer. And I said, what I want you to do every day is put on a sundress with no underwear and go sit out on the earth and dig your fingers in the earth and wash your hands off, and then eat a totally ripe nectarine or watermelon and just let it run down you so you just feel earth mothery and juicy, and let yourself be round and beautiful and pregnant.
Yeah, that's one of the, strangely, people think of it as a compliment to give you when you're pregnant, to say, oh, how far along are you? And I'll say, oh, I'm 4 months, I'm 5 months. Oh, you don't look 5 months at all.
Yeah, what's wrong with looking 5 months?
I know.
You just look glowy. You look glowy and round and feminine and beautiful.
Someone said to me, which I thought was such a lovely thing, she just said, you're just this lunar energy glow.
Yes.
It's lunar. Although I definitely, because twins, I have encountered some people say strange things to you. A woman said to me the other day, oh, you're only 8 months. I didn't even look that pregnant when I was 9 months. And I was like, okay, thanks for sharing.
I feel like they have the right to touch you in public too.
Yeah. So, okay. So, and as I have a follow-up question, we solicited some questions on on Instagram. about prenatal, and someone asked a question that's really about the abs. So I'm going to read from her. She writes, I'm curious about your position on belly pull-ins. I attended a prenatal training last March, and the presenter talked about belly pull-ins as a way to work the expanding abdominal muscles. The prenatal teacher that I work with is very against it. So what's your opinion, Judith?
All right. We're all sitting down. I don't believe in doing sit-ups or any kind of abdominal strengtheners because the abdominals are under stress to a certain extent. They're being stretched. And I think if you try to contract them, it's not effective. Because here's the thing. When you walk briskly and swing your arms, you use your abdominals. You use them going up and down stairs. If you want to, early on, I know you could get on the stationary bike, you use them to hold your pelvis still, you use the abdominals. In normal life.
You have to use your abs. I was thinking yesterday to get out of the bathtub. Like you can't, I'm using my arms.
You use your abs a lot.
Yeah.
Swimming is really, you go swimming a lot. You use your abs a lot in swimming. So I think those kind of normal activities are really good. I didn't do any at all with my first kid.
Any abdominal strengthening?
No, or the other two. And I mean, 4 months I was really lucky, but I just did my yoga, ate right. I went walking first and then jogging and stuff. And 4 months I was below what I was before with nursing.
Weight-wise, you mean?
Yeah, well, stomach-wise too. I mean, I just think that we have become so intellectual and obsessed with our body, and we're doing it from the mind down. And I think we should look back at history, what women have always worked. They've walked, they've lifted their other babies, they've worked, they've used their bodies. And I think if you use your body, walk whenever you can, walk briskly, take a few extra flight of stairs if you can, swim, sit on a stationary bike, your abs are going to be fine.
All right, great. Last question, last follow-up on this topic. Can you talk to us a little bit about the xiphoid process and this place here that you have talked to me about in terms of my asana practice now in pregnancy?
I'm wondering, could you stand up?
It is possible, yes. Do you want to see my full body? I'll turn on my second camera. Or do you just want to see me kneeling here?
I want to see your xiphoid and your pubic bone.
Okay, I can do that.
By the way, when you're as pregnant as Lizzie is, never sit in a beanbag chair unless there are people around. And I can't see your head, but that's okay. I also warn Lizzie, like at this point in pregnancy, don't get in a hot bath unless someone's in the house with you because you might get lightheaded and it's hard to get out. All right. So yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. I like seeing your face.
Oh, you a little bit more. Okay.
That's good. That's good. All right. So your xiphoid process, Lizzie will point to it, is the end of your breastbone. And then your pubic bone down at that's where the rectus runs, straight up and down. And then you have on the side of your body, if you could show.
Let me just adjust the camera. My inner designer can't handle it. Okay.
All right. So xiphoid again, pubic bone. All right. And that's the rectus, that's the superficial level. And then you have the external obliques, which go from the outside of your body down toward the midline. And then underneath them, they go the opposite way. So you have a basket weave effect. That's the internal obliques.
Okay.
And then across the bottom, you have the transversus. That's the deepest one. Well, no, it's more broad across the bottom, just like that. Yeah. And so the problem that if you overstretch the abdominals or stress them, you can get this diastasis, which is the rectus pulls away from its attachment along your midline. It pulls away a little bit. And so I wanted to recommend, most women get a tiny bit of that. I want to recommend a book.
Okay.
So if you can come back now if you want.
And I will put the link to this book in the notes underneath the YouTube video. So
called Exercises for the Childbearing Year.
Okay.
By Elizabeth Noble, Noble. She's a PT and a friend of mine. It's nice to think about not, a year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she has very gentle and helpful exercises if you do have a diastasis, if you do have some of this separation after you give birth.
So what I remember you telling me that was so helpful, it's been a really guiding principle for me, is that especially in the first half of pregnancy, for example, when I was still doing some gentle back bends, not to ever feel a sensation or a tug there at the xiphoid process.
Now, once you feel a tug at the xiphoid process, doing gentle back bends early on, that means you're starting to stress the abdominals, and that's when you stop.
Exactly. And the other thing that I loved that I think you got from Mr. Iyengar is that you told me as a general guiding principle in my asana practice during pregnancy to always keep this space open.
Yes.
And I have used that, and even off the mat, when I'm sitting in a chair and I notice I start to feel kind of nauseous or something. And then I sort of reposition my body with the idea of, okay, I want to open this space. Or even in my practice when I'm doing gentle twists and stuff, if I always keep this space open, I seem to feel well.
And the space at the bottom of the fundus, the bottom of the uterus,
mm-hmm.
right above the pubic bone. Those two spaces, he said, keep those open.
Yeah.
When you practice. It makes a huge difference.
It's huge. And it's been really an easy way for me a principle that I use when I modify poses. And I think, oh, can I do this? Can I do that? Oh, how does, what about a lunge with a little bit of a twist? Okay. But if I keep this open, yeah, it feels good. It feels
and the bottom too. Yeah, exactly. Because that keeps the organs all in as good a space, because they don't have as much space as they used to in there. They're all getting smushed.
Hello.
Especially your bladder. Because your bladder lives between your there's a pubic bone layer, deeper bladder, and then the uterus. And so as the uterus gets bigger, it pushes against the bladder. So we really feel it in the first trimester and the third trimester.
My bladder is on strike.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mama. People can find you on the internet at www.judith.yoga, and Mom's on Instagram. So you should go to her website, get on her newsletter, find her on Instagram. And you can join my newsletter, the Sunday Shavasana series, by going to www.shavasana.life. Thank you so much, Mama.
Namaste.
Namaste.